Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Merona Raghav and I'll be presenting a paper entitled Classifying Severity Level of Psychiatric Symptom on Twitter data conducted by Merona Raghav and Mikhail Melese. So here are the contents that will be covered in this presentation. So when it comes to mental health, it involves the condition of an individual human mind and the standards of this mentally healthy or normal behavior. It varies with time, place, culture, and expectation of the social group. And also, many researchers state that mental health contribute in different aspects of an individual life, such as attitude of individual towards himself, the degree to which a person realizes his potential through action, individual degree of independence of social influences, and how an individual sees the world around him or her. So individuals who are unable to cope up with these normal activities is considered they might be suffering from a psychiatric disorder. So disorders, there are various types of disorders and they appear in different presentation. In general, disorders are characterized as we seen in the figure here. They are characterized by abnormal thought, perception, emotion, behavior, and interaction with others. So the major problem of this psychiatric disorder is they are difficult to detect in suffering patients, thus they present an alarming number of undetected cases. Although psychiatric disorders currently are affecting many people from different culture, age groups, and the geographic location. Also, in addition to these individuals who are experiencing this symptom, they develop a desire to be isolated, and through these improvements in technology and smartphone, it drives them to use social media like Facebook and Twitter as a way to share their current issues and feelings. For example, if we take Twitter, it provides community portals for mental health advocates to share their feelings with patients. So through that, large number of information regarding people's opinion and feelings is flowing every day. So it provides a way for mental health researchers and clinicians to collect vast amounts of data at a growing rate. Although people or social media users express sentiments or their feelings about specific topic with a varied strengths and intensities, though in identifying the intensity of their emotion, it has a clinical importance also in the mental health domain and for making decision about the level of care given to psychiatric patients. So in order to identify the intensities or the severity level of the disorder, combining features that are sentiment oriented, it significantly improves machine learning model classification performance. So in attempt to solve the above stated problem, we formulate 3 research questions to be answered at the final stage of this study. So the first research question is which feature extraction technique is based to classify severity level of psychiatric symptom, and then the second research question is which machine learning algorithm better classifies severity level of psychiatric symptom, and then finally to what extent machine learning algorithms classify severity level of psychiatric symptoms. So at the aim of this study is to classify severity level of psychiatric symptom from Twitter data, so collecting, annotating, and processing tweets for severity level of psychiatric symptom classification is the main scope of this study. And then we extract features of linguistic, which include verb to wake feature and TF-IDF weighted by unigram, bigram, and trigram feature. And then we also extract features of pattern of life, which includes polarity, subjectivity, and gender feature for the severity level of psychiatric symptom classification. And then we apply a machine learning techniques of logistic regression, naive-bayes, random forest, and support vector machine. So as a limitation, the study is limited to English language only, and also it only considers textual tweets collected from Twitter. That means it doesn't consider emoticon and emojis. And then the other limitation is the study only classifies the severity level of psychiatric symptoms of anxiety, bipolar, and depression only. So the study has a significance for the various domains. So the first significance is for the scientific community that the study provides a theoretical foundation that combining features of linguistic and pattern of life feature by using a machine learning algorithm is effective for classifying the severity level of psychiatric symptom. It also have a significance for experts that through the early identification of the severity level, it helps experts for providing an effective diagnosis for patients based on the severity level of the disorder. And then it also have a significance for the society that if a disorder is early identified, it minimizes the damage that will result from undiagnosed mental disorder, and it will help to make a productive society. So various research has been conducted, and then here Daniel Mormay in 2016 conducted a research for identifying depressive symptoms from Twitter data, and then they use linguistic inquiry, word count, feature extraction technique, and they apply decision tree, random forest, logistic regression, support vector machine, and naive-based machine learning algorithm. And then results show that support vector machine outperforms with an accuracy score of 85%. Elvis in 2016 also conducted a research for mental illness detection by comparing TF-IDF and pattern of life feature on a random forest algorithm. Then pattern of life feature produces a higher performance for detection of bipolar disorder by precision score of 91% and borderline personality disorder by precision of 90%. It's shown in 2016 also conducted a study, and then it compares TF-IDF, linguistic inquiry, and pattern of life features using a random forest algorithm. Then pattern of life produces a higher performance. So the gap between those papers and this study is that they only use a single feature, either linguistic or pattern of life, to identify to detect the presence of a disorder in a given text, and also they didn't measure the severity level of the disorder. So various methodologies are applied to conduct this study, and then the first thing is we review various literatures for identifying the gap between papers, and then also for having a state-of-the-art knowledge about machine learning, mental health, and natural language processing. And then this study is conducted by the foundation of a design science research methodology, because the final output of this study is producing or developing a model that classifies severity level of psychiatric symptom by collecting data from Twitter. So we see in the figure the data is highly imbalanced. So in order to balance the data, we use smooth imbalance handling technique, and then we can see that the data is balanced here. So we use a tool of Python for natural language processing, which include data pre-processing and feature extraction, and then for applying a machine learning experiments. Then after that we evaluate the performance of those machine learning models using the evaluation metrics of accuracy. Then here is the architecture of the model that is built for classifying severity level of psychiatric symptom based on tweet data. Then we pre-process the data. First, the data is integrated. There's that because the data is collected from historical and streaming user tweet. Before conducting anything, we need to integrate the data, and then we clean the data for removing unnecessary data from being analyzed. Then we normalize and tokenize and esteem the data for being ready for extracting the feature. Then we extract features of linguistic, which includes word-to-vec and TF-IDF weighted by unigram, bigram, and trigram. And then we also extract feature of pattern of life, which include polarity, subjectivity, and gender features. And then we fuse the feature and partition the data set to training and test set. That 80% of the data is used for training and 20% of the data is used for testing. And by using the training set, we can build a model for severity level of psychiatric symptom classification using machine learning classification algorithm, and then we test the model and evaluate the performance through accuracy. So here are various experiments are conducted for classifying severity level of psychiatric symptom. The first 4 experiments are conducted by using the evaluation method of percentage split, that is 80% of the data is used for training and 20% of the data is used for testing, and then we apply features of unigram combined linguistic combined with pattern of life feature using the 4 machine learning algorithms, and then the remaining 4 experiments are conducted by using a stratified tenfold cross validation, and then we apply the same features we used earlier, and then we use the 4 machine learning models. So as we see from the experimental results of machine learning model, that here support vector machine when evaluated with percentage split produces a higher performance, which is 97.3%. So this is due to that dimensional data improve the accuracy of support vector machine. Then Twitter data by nature is dimensional because users post about their feelings, their emotion, and their message to the point by using different forms of a word, slangs, and other forms of a word. So this makes the data dimensional, and also due to Twitter's policy, tweet is limited to only 114 characters. So due to that, short texts are used. So for a multi-class classification of machine learning model that supports vector machine produces a higher performance when applied with unigram combined with pattern of life feature using percentage split evaluation metric. So as a discussion, that the 3 research questions are answered by these experiments conducted in this study. That the first research question, which feature extraction technique is based to classify severity level of psychiatric symptom? It is that unigram combined with pattern of life feature performance based for classifying severity level. And the second and third research question, which machine learning algorithm and to what extent this machine learning algorithm classify severity level? It support vector machine at an accuracy score of 97.3% is classified. So as a conclusion, we use a data collected from Twitter, from streaming and historical tweets. Then we extract feature of TF-IDF weighted by unigram, bigram, trigram, and word-to-vec feature combined with a pattern of life feature, which include polarity, subjectivity, and gender feature. And the highest accuracy is achieved when unigram combined with pattern of life feature is applied on the machine learning model of support vector machine. So the contribution of this study is that the study provides a machine learning classification model that uses combination of linguistic and pattern of life feature for classifying the severity level of psychiatric symptom, and also it improves the performance of machine learning algorithms that combining features of linguistic and pattern of life feature improves the performance of machine learning algorithm for severity level of psychiatric symptom classification. So as a recommendation, we recommend that adding emoticons and age feature using a hybrid of machine learning and lexicon-based approach will improve the performance, and also using deep learning classification with large amounts of data size to see the difference in performance with machine learning algorithm. And also we recommend that including various types of psychiatric symptom in addition to the one used in this study, which is depression, anxiety, and bipolar, will enlarge the domain of mental health. Thank you for your time.